All right, welcome to another episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Of course, like always. And today we have a special guest all the way from New York. I thought Texas, but it's actually New York. We have Kat with us. She's all about God first. She's a mother and positive vibes. She's absolutely crushing on her Instagram. Kat, welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I do like hot sauce, so I could be a little Texas, I guess.
Hey, there you go. There you go. I like it. I like it. You know, that's cool. And that's what it's about, right? The show's about you. So, you know, we will ask you some personal questions as well and mix it up a little bit. So individuals, our viewers and listeners can be able to apply things that they learned from today's episode and have a different perspective behind your Instagram and behind the videos that you currently do. So today is going to be fun to be able to go over a couple of that. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your story, when you got started, how long you've been in the business. So tell us how long you've been in the business, what made you get into this real estate industry?
Okay, so I got started in 2017. I used to manage a restaurant, and actually a client of mine was like, "You would be great at real estate." And I'm like, "What's real estate?" So yep, that's how I got started. And after that, it's just been a roller coaster.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. How many years now?
So that was 2017. So about 3-4 years.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Good for you. That's fantastic. So from there, like, as far as your business, are you just yourself? Do you have a team? Like, what does that look like for you?
So I started in a team. I started with, can I say companies or no?
That's fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Okay.
Demonetized. No.
I started with Coldwell Banker, and I started on a team.
Nice.
It was great to learn, but definitely ask questions, negotiate your percentages. I think I started making 18%.
Okay.
Out of that.
Holy smokes.
So, like horrible.
Wow.
Yeah, my company was taking 50, and then the team I was on was taking 30.
Wow.
So when you have the fees, right? These big franchise have a desk fee and like little fees like that. So I was walking away with like 18%. So I was at the closing table having that nice check, right? And then I would look at my direct deposit, and I'm like, what happened?
I sold it for this much, and hold on, like this.
And hold on, my closing check said, $15K. What happened to the rest?
Wow.
And that whole model is going away, right?
It's
yes.
cheating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And good for you for saying, you know what, like I saw what like writing on the wall, and you're like, this is ridiculous. Like I can go in this direction and do something for myself. So you change brokerages, and then now you basically are with yourself. You have a team you're building, or what does that look like?
I'm just by myself right now.
Nice.
Not a team yet, maybe in the future.
Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. So then do you focus on buy side, sell side, work with a little bit of both?
I do both. I do
Okay.
both. I do a little bit of commercial too.
Nice.
Yeah, I do it all.
That's awesome.
What is your favorite?
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
My favorite, honestly, I love both. I think that they're both bring different experiences. So I do, as long as everyone's happy, I'm happy with either or.
I love that. That's awesome. And I can imagine too, and Dan will get into a little bit of that in the mix up round here in the center of our show, as far as like how you've used your social media. And last question I have for me, or for my side, is like, what differentiates you? I can see you with your social media, you're doing some really good things, and you definitely have some big numbers, right? So that can definitely attract someone to want to use you and your services because of your reach on social media. But what would you say is like the biggest thing that separates you if I wanted to potentially use your services to say buy a house?
I think I'm personable. I think that, our industry is great, but some of us could be like robots.
Yeah.
And it's a huge transaction in either side, if you're listing or if you're buying. And I think what I've noticed with my clients is that they want to be talked to like they're humans, like they're not just hiring a robot and this is what you got to do. And, they want to, it's a lot of emotion involved. They want to be understood. They want to be walked through the process. So I like to be myself, and I like to be, again, personable. I think that's the difference.
Oh my God, for sure. And that's where technology, like real estate versus technology, from traditional marketing to new ways of marketing, like you're doing on Instagram, is kind of the basic fundamentals of our show. And it's great that you're saying what you're saying about being personal, because technology, I don't think ever will replace a personal touch, like the Rocket Mortgages, the Open Doors of the world. They're trying to go in that direction. And I just don't see that happening, right?
Pillows of the world, right?
Yes, exactly. So I love that. Well, thank you for giving us some context about kind of how long you've been in business, how you got started. Would love to deep dive into some of the tools and like what you're doing with your Instagram and social media to bring in some business for our viewers and listeners, to take maybe some techniques, maybe some things that you're doing and apply to their business. So I'm going to change up the camera angle, and I'm going to go ahead and give it off to our co-host, Dan Gandy, and take it away, Dan, for our mix-up round.
Thanks, Norman. Yeah. Kat, it's let's not be what's the word to use? Shy here. You have, I think, over 50,000 Instagram followers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Crushing it. 58.
So
58.
Yeah, almost 60, right? And I think from the core value of what you said as being personable, building relationships, there's no better platform to have that much success in showcasing your personality and engaging with people than Instagram. So can you tell the viewers and agents out there, how'd you go from 0 to nearly 60,000 followers on Instagram?
Just being myself. I think that people want to follow, they want to follow someone who they can relate, right? When you put yourself out there, and you're not just posting a sale or under contract or listing or an inspection, but you make it, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Follow this girl, like she teaches you some stuff and she's funny. So I like to do a little bit of both. I like to educate, put out information, but I also like to put a little bit of humor. And I also like to put a little bit of my family side, right? Because we are always dealing with families, whether it's, a new couple who's starting out, or a family who's starting out, or someone who's downsizing, but they want to be able to relate. They want to be able to see someone that it could be their neighbor, someone that maybe they went to school with, and it's not also, I want to say, blah.
Cliche.
Yeah.
Corporate structured. Nah, I'm good.
They want to see something different.
And I think when I scrolled through and did my research with you is that it's good to showcase listings. It's good to get the marketing out for your properties, but you ultimately create that personal connection with people so that they start to learn who you are, what you do, how you can help them. And I think that narrative is where a lot of people don't feel comfortable. Could you peel back the layer here a little bit? When you first got started with this, was it awkward, or how did you break that ice in terms of being able to engage in that way?
It took a lot of not having that self-doubt, right? And it was very time consuming, because then I would make either a video or a post, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't like the way that looks, let me do it again. Doing the same video like 10, 20 times until I got that one. And what I've learned is that it's not about being perfect. It's all about just putting yourself out there constantly, right? And it doesn't matter what people think. Some of these people you're never going to meet, but it's all about putting content and constantly putting yourself out there. So even if they're not in the same state that you're in, or they're not in the same neighborhood that you're in, you're showcasing yourself in a broader audience, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just having a little bit of confidence in yourself and your craft. It's huge.
That it illuminates, right? People get attracted to it and they want to follow it, and then they get interested in what you're doing. So how has that done success for your business? Has it turned into transactions, new clients, local authority, people knowing you, brand recognition?
So I've always said, I've never paid for a lead generation, and I'm not saying they don't work. I've never done them. I've always felt like, why not use what's available to you and it's free? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And I want to say my biggest tool is definitely Instagram. Most of my buyers come through Instagram. Most of my listings come from someone who stole a post or a video, and they're like, hey, my in-laws or my parents, they want to sell their house, or, you know, my cousin is looking to buy, and it all starts with a DM. So
that's huge.
That's huge.
No, it's
Huge.
huge. Yeah.
It's huge.
But it's also, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think the biggest thing is not overselling yourself. Like, I'm not constantly saying, use me, call me, this with me. It's
I need a referral. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a referral. And which is not bad, but they feel like they know me, so they could trust me.
Yeah. No, it goes miles. And I want the listeners to listen to this, because when you're starting off in the business, you don't have this huge lead generation budget, or you're not on a team that's stuffing leads down your throat and taking a cut from it. She sat here and said, okay, I'm going to leverage my personality, a free platform, and I am literally going to grow a business that I don't have this high lead cost. I have a time, effort, and sweat equity into it, right? And planning and thinking of the next move. But that creative process versus paying for somebody to do it for you or paying for somebody to generate for you, I think in the long term, as you go from 60,000 to 75,000 to 100,000 followers, you have like a billboard on every street in New York, right? So I see. Yeah, on the phone. It's
huge on both sides. I think when it comes to getting leads, but also with your colleagues, right? So when I'm showing a house or I'm presenting an offer, it's always like, oh, you're that girl from Instagram or TikTok. You're the one with the videos. And I'm like, hey, yes, I'm that girl. So it's like people feel like they know you, and that's what you want.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Before we talk about, there's like one or two more things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the haters and the people, you know, the trolls and the people who want to bring you down regardless of what you do, what you say, or correct you if you said some misinformation. How do you deal with that volume of followers, or do you just ignore?
I love it. I love it because that negative comment, right? You took the time to comment. Now Instagram, what it's doing is pushing my content to more people. You know, it's putting it to their followers, the people who are following them, or someone we might have in common. So now you just push my content out into the algorithm. So I love it. Keep the negative comments.
Keep on hating.
You know, it takes more from them than it does from me. Because again, once you build that brand awareness on social media, people start to get a feel of your personality and who you are. So, you know, if you have that big of a following to 2 or 3 negative comments, you know, the good outweighs the bad. You can't let those things face you. You're damn if you do and you're damn if you don't. You know?
I've seen it go both ways. You're from New York, so I figured you were like, come on, let me put the boxing gloves on here and I'm going to tell you how it is.
And I'm also a Latina, so I'm like, okay.
I love it. I love it. Let's just switch gears for a second. Let's talk about tech. Outside of social media, your phone, is there any technology that you've integrated in your business that's made you more productive, or that you've fallen in love with it's illuminated your business in terms of being more efficient?
Oh, God.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No. Technology. Honestly, I'm a social media girl. I don't know. That's the technology I used and have used from the beginning. And, you know, it took a while to build it up, but social media, I mean, to me, it does everything. It's all about how you structure it and how you link every social media outlet together. So if someone's following you here, they're also following you in this other platform, and they just follow you throughout.
It sounds like if you could, you would send offers via DM.
I would. Just slide it to DM.
Oh, love it. I love it.
I didn't find you on Instagram, so I couldn't send you an offer. Sorry. No, that's cool. No,
but that's the first thing. Every time I meet someone, I'm like, do you have an Instagram?
I was working on some sales. I was working on some sales stuff, and we always want to follow people, engage their content, so that when you call somebody or you talk to them, you knew who they are. You're not just like, hey, you're number 123 on my phone list.
Yeah.
Right. And I just wanted to, the last thing I wanted to say before we hand it back to Norm is that if you're an agent out there, you don't have a high lead generation budget, but you have a good personality, you can craft the trade of being social. I think a lot of what people are scared of is that you're at nearly 60,000 followers and they said, oh, I should have been an early adopter and did it 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. There's no way I could get there. I think that's the biggest objection I hear in the real estate marketing side is like, oh, I probably could have done that if I would have put my heart and soul into it. Yeah. But now it's too late. Like those trains have passed, or whatever you want to say.
That was me last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Me last year. I think last year, prior to the COVID-19, I think I was at maybe 11K.
Okay.
Still good.
And then I was seeing other people killing it. And I'm like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
Being myself and finding my niche and what I like to do. So I just went full force.
And in that process, did anybody coach you? Did you hire anybody to help you with content creation? Just so we have a...
Just a lot of scrolling and, finding ideas and making it your own. And listen, you're going to get some right and you're going to get some wrong, right? But it's all about trial and error and constantly putting yourself. And I think it's just... is that self-doubt, and we all deal with it. Even the people with 100K or 1 million followers, we all have self-doubt, and it's kind of like catching it and telling to yourself, quote myself, you're not going to get me. I'm going to do it.
Love it.
No, it's motivational. I think if we could record that, cut it up, and just send it to some of our own clients, I think it's that push, right? Like, hey, I haven't seen anything, videos shot or no YouTube. Like, come on, let's go.
We all go through that. I think they call it like the imposter syndrome. But it's just like, once you catch yourself, just notice it and say, no, I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter. This might not be the one, but you know what? The next one will be.
Wow.
That's awesome. Kat, it's great. This is a good story for everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. I really appreciate that mix up round. And just to kind of unpack it, because I like to just kind of observe that round and then kind of unpack it at this point of the show. And I got to say, like, you showed up, you showed out, self-doubt. You said, nope, I'm just going to do it. You did it. And the one thing that I think that's super profound, because there's like Follow Up Boss, and they're like one of our sponsors for our event that we're doing at the end of this month, and all these different systems and all these different tools. And Kat said, nope, I'm just going to use my Instagram, because technically the DMs, you have a scroll of all the people, and the people you're talking to the most is at the top of the DMs. And you could use that as a CRM system, really. And you have their contact information. You can voice to message them. You could video to message them. There's all the things that you could do besides the transaction coordination side. Then you hire someone else for that and look at your transactions and what's going on. Of course, there's some emails that come in and whatnot. But that's interesting how you've used an Instagram for viewers and listeners out there as a way to market yourself and also keep track of your leads.
Yeah. And TikTok is great too. I think the biggest tip, or that was like a huge thing when it came down to growing my Instagram account, was when I linked my Instagram to my TikTok. So if someone saw my video on TikTok and they went to my profile, you have that little logo of Instagram, they clicked it. And I tell you, when I did that, I was getting about 10 to 30 new followers a day.
Wow.
And the same videos that you're putting on Instagram, you're putting on your TikTok. And it all just syncs together. And it makes a huge difference.
That process of bridging is what she's discussing. And that bridging is, it's opened a lot of platforms to more engagement. It's actually a smart thing that they do that and integrate. It helps both platforms both ways. It's huge.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. And it gives people a different perspective as well, right? Because on TikTok, you can get a story. So you don't know what's kind of going on behind the scenes. Like I saw your story getting ready where you're at now before we came on live, right? And then also like you could do other things with like just pictures. And there's not just pictures, which you can kind of do pictures with a slideshow on TikTok, but it's a different light. And it's also good that you're maximizing TikTok. For any viewers and listeners out there, you want to maximize TikTok too, because we all see what happened on Monday with the shutdown of 6 hours. And come on. Like
everybody was on TikTok.
I'm guilty of it. I have no TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. I was on TikTok too. I was like, all right, let me go pivot. Instagram, was it TikTok, YouTube Shorts and YouTube, and then LinkedIn. I had to go pivot over there because Facebook and Instagram wasn't
too many platforms.
Yeah.
There's too many platforms, but you gotta link them all. But TikTok is great. Listen, I thought it was for kids too, but no, it's great. TikTok, and it's new. So don't think that it's too late to get into it. I've seen so much growth with so many people who have TikTok that just kept putting content out. Once you find that one niche and you stick to it and you make it your own, you're golden.
That's awesome. I love that. So last couple of questions that I have before we open the floor up to you, so you can leave our viewers and listeners with some golden nuggets or anything that you want to leave with them. So do you consider yourself like, I know a lot of top producers in the industry consider themselves maybe as an expert. Back in 2008 was an REO expert. Now maybe a relocation expert because of what's happening with a low inventory situation, or maybe developing farms, right? And they have a farm where they send mailers and they really focus on like that specific geographical demographic. Now, from your perspective, what you're doing is more of an influencer play. So anyone out there that's listening right now, Kat's doing an influencer play that can then blanket for multiple different types of client types. But are you seeing kind of like a specific client, like you're seeing more first-time home buyers, or you're seeing people that are move-up buyers, or is there any type of commonality of clients that are coming into your ecosystem that you can kind of quantify and give us for frame of reference?
Definitely working with a lot of first-time home buyers, all different ages.
Okay.
Not just young ones. You have those people who thought I work with a lot of Spanish people, and some of them maybe never thought that they could purchase a house.
Nice.
And now they're in their early 40s or, late 40s, and they're like, oh, I could buy a house. So I work with those type of people. And even when they're not ready, we get them ready, right? We build that pipeline. So if they're not ready now, we're getting ready for next year. But and that's why social media helps me, because I put that type of content out there that it kind of makes people question, like, I didn't know that I could buy a house with that type of credit score, or if I didn't have 20% down, or with my IT number. Is that type of information that we know it, but again, people might not know it.
You have a unique advantage too, because you're bilingual, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, the real estate agent that's bilingual, it has like this little secret weapon. Yeah. Because you have the ability to go through a very complex transaction with people who typically would be like, oh, I'm kind of nervous or hesitant because I don't speak that language, or I don't understand the contracts. And I just wanted to touch on that real quick before we kind of end out here, is that if there's any agents out there and you are bilingual, you have a unique position in the market to be able to work with maybe 2x the amount of people. So that's awesome. That's right. I praise you for that.
Sure.
I love that. I actually was in a meeting yesterday. A guy had, he speak 8 languages. And so I don't know how he managed it, but it spoke 8 languages. This guy's on track for well over $250 million this year. It's just like, he could speak to multiple languages, from Chinese to Indian to Spanish. I'm like, holy cow. So maybe, what is it? Rosetta Stone?
This tutor? Can I send him my 7-year-old?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So the last thing I think for me is like, I just want to kind of cap it out with like, for anyone listening out there, I love what you're doing, Kat, because you're leveraging the power of your social media. So even if someone isn't ready today, the way that you're doing your marketing and you're showing up and you're showing out is still nurturing them without a text message, without a phone call, without an email, without any of the traditional ways. And you're just doing, and you're flowing through your day, whether you're picking up your son, or you're just going to the store, or you're going to a listing appointment, whatever it is, and you're being proactive and you're getting on, and you're showing up and you're showing out, and then and you're probably also in the back of your mind, for viewers and listeners out there, I can imagine Kat's also thinking about, oh my God, I have Juan, I have Jose, and I have Cindy that's also want to buy a home in the next 12 months. And this could be a good post for them because they're looking at saving right now and paying off some credit card debt. So this is going to tie into that. Like I could see like how you, and this is like an intricate system that I don't think a lot of people out there, viewers and listeners are thinking about, is like you put together this ecosystem and strategic way of being able to grow your business that a lot of people don't understand. You know, I think that that's something that really needs to be put out there because it's more than just like, you know, yeah, you're, you know, a pretty face, but no, you're super smart about what you're doing. So I just want to say hats off to you.
Thank you.
You have more followers than we've had a lot of top people on here, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking 3 to 4x the amount of followers. So if you're an agent out there, follow Kat.
There you go.
That's all I gotta say.
Links down below.
You're gonna sit there and scroll through, you know, social media or Instagram or TikTok, watching somebody else's content. Create your own. You could be that same person, you know.
Yeah.
I love
why be like a watcher or a user? Or why be a watcher when you can be a user and you can actually be a creator? So I love that. I love that. So we're going to go ahead and change the camera angle, put the camera on you, Kat. End of the show. What do you want to leave with our viewers and listeners today?
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was great. And what I would love for you guys to take away from this, you know, the podcast is to be yourself. Don't dim your light. Be who you want to be and put yourself out there. It really helps so much when it comes to growing your business, especially the real estate business, because you have to be reliable. People need to see who you are and they need to be able to trust you. So be yourself.
I love that. I love that. And the last thing I'm going to say is that the link to follow Kat is down below. You can go to her Instagram. You can click a link. I was already proactive. I did some research and you can actually jump on a one-on-one call with her or ask Kat anything. So if you want to go ahead and do that and you want to get a video from her personally, you know, if you want to show up and show out, like this is, come on, we got to be proaction here. We can't just watch this show and not do anything. Like,
thank you.
Do it.
Action, right? So there's your call to action for Kat. Go check out the link, make it happen. So Kat, thanks so much for being on the show today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Norman. Thank you, Dan. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Of course, awesome. We definitely will. Dan, thank you so much for being on today's podcast as our co-host as always.
Yeah, thank you. This has been a great one. Kat, thank you. I think
Hopefully
you put a lot of stuff.
One day together.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna have to do more of some Facebook lives and talking social strategy and some other stuff like that too.
That would be great.
So more to come behind the scenes, more to come. And thanks to all of our viewers and listeners, as it is our intention for you to take something from our episodes to apply to your business to have more massive success. And we will see you on the next one. We made it to the end. Well, thank you so much for watching Real Estate vs. Technology. We hope you found value, especially something you can apply to your real estate business. If you could do us a favor, we would appreciate it. A thumbs up. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell, you'll be notified for new episodes coming out, and comment below. What the heck did you learn? If you want to join our Facebook group page, there's a link right here. And if you want to be featured on Real Estate vs. Technology, send us a DM on our Instagram page. We'll see if we get you on the show. So take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.